Hi there, and welcome to the Biomass Magazine podcast. I am your host, Anna Simet. We are here at the International Biomass Conference and Expo in Nashville, Tennessee. I am here with Kevin Desjardins from Keith Manufacturing. Kevin, hello, and welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me, Anna. It's been a while. I think you've done what, this is your fourth year, fifth year doing this?
Podcast, probably about fourth year. So, yeah,
Yeah, this is great. This is
yeah,
exciting. Um,
we're glad to have you back.
I think you have a lot to do with what's happening here on the floor as well, right? So it's
Yeah.
not just this, so you're kind of shaping what all this looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
amazing. Great job.
Well, thank you so much. Let's talk a little about Keith. Kevin, tell us, give us the 30-second spiel. What does Keith do and what do you do?
So Keith Manufacturing is a material handling company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we've been really relevant in the walking floor trailer business for many years. We've now, gotten into the stationary application for 20 some years now on that. So we have quite a long history with that, moving materials from woody biomass to cattle feed, cotton, ice. I think we've moved a lot of products that we probably forgot we've ever tried moving it.
Right.
And myself, I'm in the sales for Keith Manufacturing, specializing in the stationary applications in most all industries on that. Wood, basically, biomass, the ice industry, energy, those type applications.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, for those who are new to Keith, where does a walking floor bin fit within a biomass or alternative fuel operation? And then why has it become more relevant as fuel strategies evolve?
Well, I think that our fit is going to be in the beginning of it, right? Bringing in the bulk material, the hard to manage material before it's processed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in some cases, after it's processed, sometimes after it's been classified, sized down to a certain product. Uh, I think it's become more relevant just because of our design in the beginning. We really try to learn what the solution is that they're looking for. We work closely with the customer in their design on what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We implemented it. Most of our, if not all of our stationary applications are somewhat custom to a sense, right? Different densities, different particle sizes, different
Right.
applications. So with that in mind, the customer is going to know their product, their situation a
Mhm.
lot better than we are. So any sort of equipment off the shelf
Yeah.
that is going to be a one size fits all typically runs into some problems, right? So we try to eliminate on the front end of that. So
Mhm.
so I think it's becoming more relevant because we take those steps in the beginning so that once it's implemented, we don't have those should have, could have, would have conversations
Yeah.
after it's up and running.
Right. Okay. So, as you're kind of alluding to, biomass doesn't always behave like traditional fuels. What are the most common flow and storage issues that plants run into, especially related to that material inconsistency?
I think with the biomass, I think the majority of it is just the way the material knits together, right? How
Yeah.
how how you can't count on one flow of the material to be the same as the next. And with the Keith walking floor, as we move that whole pile of material rather than taking it out in layers, what we're creating is uh, a movement in which can be contained with our accessories that allow it to flow into the discharge area so that as it moves down there, we have that consistency, right?
Hmm.
That they're looking for, what they're asking for. And again, it goes back to that first question, right? Is
Yeah.
working with them in the design process.
Right. Okay. So during pea production, how does the walking floor system keep biomass moving reliably without stoppages caused by those issues that we're talking about?
Um, Again, I think it's a lot has to do with we're moving the entire pile, right?
Yeah.
When we're in there, and so with the hydraulics that we have, it's very reliable. It's a closed loop system, so we're not turning off, turning on stuff. We're running with a compensated pump, so it's always ready to go. We have that movement. So just with the consistency of our movement, with our equipment, our technology on there. It's just almost once it's designed, it's kind of a plug and play, right? You turn it on and I was recently at a plant in alternative fuels. They were running it, and we took a customer there and we asked them if we could see it. And the customer asked people that were running it, "What about the Keith walking floor?" And he said, "I don't know. We started up and we forgot about it. We didn't have to do it." So that's a great compliment, right? When they can
Right.
turn it on and that's not on their mind.
Yeah.
You want to take one less thing off of their plate every day.
Right. Touche. Okay. Great answer. So plants must switch between different fuel types that have differing characteristics, density, particle size. How flexible is the walking floor system when those fuel characteristic change? And does that ever require mechanical adjustments?
Well, sure. It's gonna require that. The movement of our product, the components is basically the same, right? We have our cylinders, each one's attached um, to a floor slat. So every other floor slat's attached to a cylinder. So when it retracts, a third of the floor slats go back, a third of them go back, a third, and they all move forward. So it's just that process is just repetitive, right? There's nothing more to do with that. So the movement's going to be the same, whether or not you're running woody biomass or if you're running wood pellets, right? The movement's going to be the same. The versatility is going to come in the accessories we use, whether it's going to be different type of spike rolls, to reagitate that pile so it flows into the discharge screw, whether it's a discharge screw, whether it's a chain conveyor to take the material away,
Mm.
whether it's a leveling screw that we need to implement to help maximize the capacity in the bin, um, the speed of the floor, the controls in that manner. I think
Mhm.
that's really our sweet spot when it comes to the versatility in it is we can pivot and we can adapt and help them without changing the whole concept of the floor.
Yeah. Okay, so from an operator and a plant manager perspective, what does all this mean day to day in terms of safety, maintenance, and keeping the plant running smoothly over time?
Well, I think that it's the reliability, right?
Right.
When you turn it on, it's gonna function the way it's supposed to function. If there is some sort of a problem, you can reach or tackle that problem outside the bin. So the material zone where it's at never has to really be accessed. You can access everything from the outside. You can make those adjustments. You can change those components and it can get back up and running. So you're keeping people out of, I'm going to call it the danger zone, if you will, right? Out of
Hmm.
it from having to go in there to work on it because everything is on that outside of it. We have a lot of features in there, safety stops with our hydraulics. We have sensors in there. So if the hydraulic oil gets too hot, it's going to turn the system down. If there's not enough oil, it's going to turn the system down. If somebody is in an area or opens the door, it's going to turn the system down. So what we're really doing is eliminating a lot of the problems that may cause the bin itself to kind of self-destruct, if you would, right? Because it's not being thought of. So
Yeah.
we're trying to take that out of the picture of it. So I just think that the reliability of the bin is a really a big issue on that for us that we are able to solve it for.
Okay. Well, Keith sure is a great supporter of the biomass industry, and we're so happy that you guys are here as usual. Is there anything else that you want to add, Kevin, before we wrap it up?
No, I think it's great. I think that you guys do a fantastic job. I really love the thought of the podcast being here on the showroom floor because it really gets the pulse of what's going on
Right?
inside here, right? You get the energy, you get to talk about it. One thing that I didn't mention with our bin is
Hmm.
we really look at the Keith bin on how much you need to come into the bin and how much you need to come out. We don't deal with anything upstream or downstream. I think that you have think I was talking to Marty. There's 185 suppliers or,
Yeah.
exhibitors here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of expertise within it, right?
Right.
So we don't want to be venturing into something that we're not experts in. And that's why they're here, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
so we work closely with a lot of them to get you, what you need to do on the in-feed side as well as the downstream side. And I just love how this conference is growing. I think he also said you have like 1,085 attendees or
Yep.
something like that up there, which is great, right?
Yeah,
It's a
it
great
is.
value for all of us that are out here in the exhibit hall. So
Yeah.
thank you for that because I know you helped shape a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, we're really happy with the show this year, and we're in Atlanta next year.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking forward to that.
yeah. Well, thanks so much, Kevin.
Great, thank you,
It's been a
Anna.
great podcast, and I'm so thankful that you came on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you betcha. And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you later.